But anyway, let's move on to our final topic. Miss Penny suspended. I'm not even trying to pronounce the last name, respect to it. Penny-O has been suspended by her, is it FINA or is it by her national body?
I believe this would be WADA, World Anti-Doping Association.
So basically from what I gather is, Thanksgiving, the vengeance of Thanksgiving. She retired, and in true retirement fashion, it's just like, I'm done. Like, I don't really care what's going on. And she had 3 missed check-ins. So for those of you who don't know, in swimming, once you get to a certain level, they start drug testing you. I think everybody has a horrific drug testing story. I know I have one, but you have to meet up or have your whereabouts shared with like whatever your national body is, and with we have USADA here in the U.S. and with WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, so they can just show up unannounced whenever they want and drug test you. Drug test you, and obviously if you're retired, like it doesn't really matter. But they do drug test you for I think it's another 3 years or a year or something. And she was a no-show for 3 tests. And I think even if you have 1, it counts as a failed test, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so she had 3. So they suspended her, and it's kind of stupid, but at the same time, like they gotta do what they gotta do, but at the same time, she's retired. So who cares? What do you think about this, Elvis?
Has she retired? Like, has she announced she's retired, or did she just kind of?
I think she's kind of just said she was retired.
So, I mean, when the news dropped that she accepted a full 2-year ban, she posted on Instagram she's at the beach.
Yeah,
she's on the beach with her boo. She don't give a shit about that. So that tells me maybe she is retired, or she just does not care anymore. So I've been it's called whereabouts.
yeah.
So what you have to do as an athlete is you have to log in online, and literally, I believe it was 6-month block, maybe 3 or 6-month block.
I've been in there too.
And you have to document exactly every hour where you are going to be for the next 6 months, every single day, 24/7 for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then like 30 days before the 6 months end, you have to do it again for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So if you're like me and you're like, well, hell, I want to go to Miami on Friday, you got to plan that out, or you have to log back in, change your whereabouts, say like, nope, I'm actually not going to be asleep at 5 a.m. On April 27th. I'm going to be at Club 11 in Brickell, Miami, partying my ass off. Try and find me. So,
and it's not easy to change if you do it short notice either.
It's not easy to change at all. They do not like that. They don't like that. Yeah. Because if a drug tester's coming to find you and then you change it the day of, that's kind of sketch. So I'll be honest. I hated doing whereabouts, and I would just copy paste that whole thing. I'm not sitting here for 3 hours. The first time you do it, you're like, I'm gonna be a good student. Let me fill this out. Like, check my calendar, check what swim meets I'm going to, and all this stuff. And then after that, I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Copy, paste. Like, it was like, where am I from 6 p.m. till 7 a.m.? Bed. Copy, paste, 7 months.
Yeah.
So is it where am I from 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock? Practice. Copy, paste. So.
And it's worth saying also that if they show up and you're not there, don't they call you, right?
They're supposed to.
Yeah, okay.
They're supposed to call you, but sometimes who was it? The famous
for USADA, they call you.
Yeah, there was a track runner. I can't remember her name. Curly hair, the 400 runner, 200 runner. Sydney McLaughlin, Sydney something.
Yeah.
That's how she got a ban. She didn't show up for one of those where I guess they showed up and didn't call her. but she was like around the corner, like at the movies or something. She could have been there in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like, I may be getting this story wrong, but there was a runner who got famously banned for something like that. So whereabouts is, I don't want to say it's stupid, but it's really annoying to fill out. And then once you've retired or you're not swimming anymore, I'm not filling that thing out. Like, okay, I didn't show up to a drug test. No. Ooh, what are you gonna do? Fire? It's like, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I quit. Right. So,
to go to the beach. Oh no.
right. So I think people are making. I don't even think people are making a big deal about this, but it's being. They're definitely like marketing it because they love to market when they ban somebody to make it seem like they actually do something, but then they turn a blind eye to all the people winning the gold medals who are actually doping.
Yeah.
So they'll use a story like this to make it look like they, go so hard on people who dope, but really they don't. This is all just a nothing burger. It's all stupid.
Yeah, and it's all. I mean, they need to do a better job. I was going to call it stupid, but they need to do a better job of just enforcing, not even enforcing the rules, but being consistent. Like so with my ulcerative colitis, I have to take prednisone, or let's see, what I would take it like whenever I have a relapse, right? And I know now I needed to communicate better and schedule out when I would take it, because I knew when I was going to have relapses. It was Christmas training. And then maybe summer training when the stress on my body just became too much, right? And I remember when I was in the testing pool, I did a TUE. Now, the TUE is obviously like one of the most controversial legal cheat methods in swimming. And obviously, in my case, because prednisone is a corticosteroid, right? Yeah. Whatever it is, autoimmune suppressant. And so I've been in their testing pool, right? So my next year I fall out of the whatever ranking to be tested. So before summer nationals, I called USADA, and I asked them like, hey, like I'm gonna be here, like I have ulcerative colitis, I take prednisone sometimes. Like, do I need to fill out a TUE in case I get drug tested? And they were, oh man, I hope I don't get people in trouble for this. But they were like, no, you don't need to. And I was like, well, what if I get drug tested and I'm not on record having this? And they're like, oh no, like you're fine. Like you're not in our official testing pool. You can take basically I left with that thing, like I can take whatever I want. And because I'm not in the official testing pool, if I wanted to cheat and I stopped early enough, I'd get away with it. Despite the fact that I've been in the testing pool already. So you can be in a testing pool, drop out, cheat, make sure you're off whatever schedule, get back in the testing pool for whatever meet, and if you pass the drug test, you just got free cheating. Like I think that once you get in the testing pool, you should be in the testing pool until you retire. Because if you think about it, obviously, I have my own code of ethics. I'm not going to let to cheat, but somebody in my position, you would think would be the prime cheaters. I've just made it. I've fallen off. I'm probably not going to make it again. What's stopping me? What I got to lose? I don't make it again because I got popped. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right. And then,
yeah.
Then even me, like being from a small country and then training abroad, what government's going to pay money to send someone to test me, So it's like, technically I probably could have gotten away with it.
Right.
But it's, I'm an ethical person. I'm not going to do it. And my body's a temple. I love my body. I'm not putting any of that in it. But I saw a diagram, I think it was on World Aquatics, where they were showing from 2010 until now, each year, how many records were broken. And then it was showing like 3 records in 2010, 4, 2, 0. And then I think it was like 2014, there was this massive spike. Or maybe it was 2014 or 2024, one of them. Just a massive spike. And I was like, that Leonardo DiCaprio, whoa, what's that? And people, if you want to hype it up to, oh, that's when the new Jammer came out, bullshit.
Right. Have you heard about this is actually, this is going to be a good take right here with this Penny. Shout out to Penny O for the inspiration. But have you heard about the track and field um, conspiracy, doping conspiracy?
Which one?
So there's this like miracle drug. It's called like blue something, and it's basically like my right knee is like messed up. Right, I hyperextended it like in a basketball game when I was 26, and I could hear it like when it hurt, I could hear everything in my knee just like pop, 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 pop. Right. So allegedly, this drug is I would inject it in my injury site, and you basically recover like the Wolverine. Like I'm not even joking. Like it's a crazy drug. So supposedly, allegedly, in cross country at the NCAA level, they're microdosing this drug.
Mm.
And it's because it's so potent, you can microdose little amounts of it, and like they'll get off it like the week of their competitions, and they'll pass drug tests.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like you said, 2014. Like the drug testing stuff or getting by with it. It's getting crazy.
All the games are enhanced games when you think about it. And what's funny is swimming is such a soft sport that it gets away that people are like, oh, they couldn't possibly be cheating. They're all good people. Nah, I bet swimming is so dirty. Track is dirty. Yeah. I remember when I went to the Olympics in 2008, we were on this. So after the Olympics, the Bahamas, like they'll fly all the Olympians down and they'll take us around and like just kind of do like a little island tour so we could all, shake hands, kiss babies, whatnot.
Right.
So I'm on the team bus with like guys who won gold medals, silver medals, like legit Olympians from the Bahamas, and just little 18-year-old me, like trying to learn everything I can from these guys. But I won't call any names, but I was sitting next to one of the top dogs in track, and he got a phone call, and the whole time he was like, "Oh shit, for real? For real? No, for real? Oh shit." So after he hung up the phone, all the other track dudes are like, "Yo, what's up?" And they're like, "Yo, somebody turned in a dirty needle or dirty vial to the drug testers, and it contained a chemical that they'd never seen before, and they're retesting everybody, and they popped 12 already."
Dang.
He was like, he sat me down, he explained it all to me. He goes, the people who make the drugs are like 12 to 14 steps ahead of the people testing the drugs. He said, if you got caught with something, we're already 12. That was the 12th iteration of what you got caught with. We're already 12 ahead.
Dang.
So
kind of like how people will go from being like prosecutors for like criminal malfeasance, and all of a sudden they're like the top lawyer for United Healthcare.
Right. He said you can't test what you don't know. So it's like when the cartel brings in drugs and then the FBI finds it like built into the side of the semi truck, and people are like, nah, somebody snitched. They don't just know that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So if you get popped in any sport, it's because they can't test what they don't know, and they find out when someone snitches. And when they find out, the people making the drugs are already like on the 12th version of it. So you got 12 more to come catch me, and by the time you catch me, I'm on number 24.
Yeah, or I'm not the sport. Yeah.
Right. And I guarantee swimmers are doing it. Guarantee. I know. I'm not gonna call any names on this show because we're too young to be getting sued right now. But I know swimmers who are doping.
Yeah, I was lucky to I think maybe the worst I ever saw was people who, and I think this is a common one, who like say they have allergies and don't have allergies, so they get that inhaler script. I think that's probably the worst I've ever seen. But obviously, we had that talk in our last episode about at a certain World University Games how there's a false wall that a certain country was using to get by drug tests. So I think it's interesting because I'm kind of on that more innocent side of things where it's like, oh, like this is actually a thing. Like this is for real, you know. And even though I've never been around it, it's like, is it? And then you find out, like, nope, they got false walls at this meet. It's happening. So yeah, it's interesting.
I know when I was in college, there was a team that, like, the swim coach of the team, after a study came out that Adderall was basically a performance enhancer at a certain level, they had a team doctor that would diagnose all of the team with ADD. So they were all super training on Adderall,
Jeez,
performing crazy. And it was like, it's a known. It's probably still going on today, because Adderall, it's not a banned substance.
Yeah,
if you have the TUE for it.
yeah.
So there's a lot of tips and tricks like that. But I think swimmers are, well, I know swimmers are legit doping out there. Not gonna call names, but
Yeah,
you know who you are.
Who are listening and just figuring this stuff out, or hearing about this stuff the first time. There's so many loopholes. Like even with my prednisone or weed, I don't smoke weed, but for weed, like both of those are allowed out of competition. So I could be signed up for a swim meet and just not go to it, and know that my prednisone is still gonna be in my system. And if I don't have a TUE for it, right, I just haven't filed my TUE, whatever, and just, this isn't going to be out of my system, I'm not going to go. Or somebody who smokes weed can be like, oh, the weed's not going to be out of my system, I'm just not going to go to this meet, and pass drug tests like that. And there's a bunch of drugs that are allowed out of competition that are not allowed in competition. So, like you said, with Adderall, and even then, like, you can test positive for caffeine, for those of you who don't know, but caffeine is it's an easily digestible energy source for the human body, that you could take enough caffeine to get popped and burn through it in your race and be fine. Right. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that out there, guys. Like when Elvis says he showed his people cheating, like even caffeine, right? Like that's technically illegal, but you can use it and get away with it. So he's for real with what he's saying.
Yeah. But not even caffeine. I know people are cheating with that real stuff, that enhanced stuff.
Well, all right, guys. So once again, this is the Night Swim podcast. Happy Thanksgiving from me and Elvis and super producer Nate. And we can start calling him Big J. We'll call him Big J, J Dog, something like that.
We got quite a team of producers here. I gotta give them a true shout out, man. Like when I hit up Nate about this idea for the show I have been sitting on for like 2 years, it's like, hey man, like I've seen what you did with some other shows. Would you be interested? I thought it would just be him helping us out. I mean, he brought the whole
thing together.
He brought the whole Avengers in this, man. So shout out to them, man.
Yeah, big shout out. Elvis, you got anything you want to say in closing to America?
I feel like we need to have like an episode where we just exchange war stories of some of the stuff that happens at these big meets or at practices behind the scenes with some of the big name people, or some of the I think the NDAs have expired by now.
Yeah.
I think we could have some fun with it. We need to talk about that.
So let's do it next episode. We'll call it the summer war stories episode. But yeah, I got a lot. Like I've seen some shit, dog. I've heard,
I'm sure.
Heard people taking drugs as suppositories, like crazy stuff. Yeah.
When I was in Beijing, two major USA swimmers tried to jump me outside the club.
Oh, geez.
While I was carrying another swimmer who was passed out on my shoulder, trying to put him in the cab.
Yeah, those of you who don't know, it goes down. It goes down in swimming. That's what we're saying. Like these people who act like these clean-cut soldiers are not that. It's an act, and they need to be themselves. So the sport will be better for it. So anyway,
Night swim. Do y'all want to let us know in the comments? Do you all want to hear some swimmer war stories from behind the scenes of people throwing bottles in the club, slamming people in tables? 2 people trying to jump me in a dark alley, medalists,
Yeah.
people sleeping with other people's girlfriends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do y'all want to hear it or no? Or should
Yeah,
we keep
let
it
us know in the comments, y'all. And as always, hit that like button, help boost us in the algorithm so, we can show this sport that, hey, you can be yourself and still have fun and still get the things you want. You turn that notification bell on so that way you're notified whenever we drop our clips or we drop our full podcast episode. And, we'll see y'all next time the lifeguards aren't here.
Yeah. Good night from Night Swim.
Peace.